We're going to go for a nice little trilogy here on Parliament because I'm in the mood for it now. I wasn't really planning on doing this third video, but I looked at my list of videos to do and it was there, and I've got the camera set up and everything, and I'm, dressed relatively presentably, so I thought, hey ho, let's go on with it. There is a position in the House of Commons which is Leader of the House of Commons, and that is a cabinet position, Leader of the House of Commons. And you may think that that's a very, very redundant office, is Leader of the House of Commons. That's just the Prime Minister, isn't it? He leads things. Or it's the Speaker, then. What on earth is the Leader of the House of Commons? Now, to explain this, I'm just going to take a very brief detour, because I'm sure some of you will know why there is the Leader of the House of Commons, but for those of you that don't, I'm going to try and enlighten you, and I hope you will I hope you will appreciate my efforts. So, it was not always the case that the Prime Minister was in the House of Commons. Nowadays, you do not get a Prime Minister in the House of Lords. The last one was Sir Alec Douglas-Home. Let's see. No, I'm going to get the number wrong, but he was the Earl of Hume. Interestingly, the Scottish philosopher David Hume, his name should properly be spelled Home, because that is the Scottish word that is pronounced Hume, as it is in Alec Douglas-Home. Yes, so he was the last one, and he resigned his peerage and took up a seat in the House of Commons. So you really do not get Prime Ministers in the House of Lords. The last one was the Marquess of Salisbury, friend of the channel. There he is again, stick him on screen, why the devil not? We like the Marquess of Salisbury, jolly good chap. And it is with him that I'm going to explain my Leader of the House of Commons conundrum, because he is in the House of Lords, right? And as you may know, people who are in the House of Lords absolutely cannot be in the House of Commons. So, say for example you are Lord Salisbury, right? And you've got your big bushy beard and your frock coat and everything, and you're there stroking your beard, and I need to influence the House of Commons. And obviously you've got lots of MPs, but what you really need is a deputy, a strong deputy. And so you have the Leader of the House of Commons. That's what you give, that's the title you give to the chap who's going to be there. Now, in Lord Salisbury's day, this was Lord Randolph Churchill. Oh, I've done it again. Right, so why is Lord Randolph Churchill in the House of Commons? Shouldn't he be in the House of Lords? No, he was the son of a... No, not the son. Well, yes, he was the son, but at the time, the Duke of Marlborough was his brother. So, because of that, he got to use the courtesy title of Lord. So he was Lord Randolph Churchill, but he didn't have a peerage. He wasn't Randolph, the Lord Churchill of Blenheim. He wasn't that. He was just Lord Randolph Churchill. And so, because of that, it was just a courtesy title, because being called Lord doesn't mean you are in the House of Lords, and so he was in the House of Commons. And he was the Leader of the House of Commons for the Conservative Party under Lord Salisbury, Prime Minister in the House of Lords. He was also Chancellor of the Exchequer at the same time, which gave him immense power. That's about as powerful as you could be without being the Prime Minister at the time. And he threw it all away on a gamble by resigning. He threatened to resign, expecting that the Prime Minister would think him so indispensable that he would say, okay, I'll give you what you want. But Lord Salisbury was not for moving, and he said, all right, on your bike. Except he didn't, because that phrase didn't get invented until Norman Tebbit, and also bicycles were still in their infancy at this point. Yes, so the Leader of the House of Commons was a deputy in the House of Commons for the Prime Minister. And the position sort of stuck around, because very often you get ministers who you don't really want to assign to a specific thing. There is such a thing as the minister without portfolio, and that is literally just a minister who does whatever the Prime Minister instructs him. But there's other positions that do have definite names, like Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster. The Duchy of Lancaster is a private holding of the monarch, so the Chancellor technically manages the finances of that, but nowadays we don't live in a position where you need a government minister to do the accounts for the king. That's not what they do anymore. So the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster is generally a position given to someone who's got talents, but not in any specific region, so they can be utilised by the government in a ministerial position without having to assign them to something they don't know very much about. Jolly good idea. And the Leader of the House of Commons is another one of those. Under the Tory government, Boris Johnson's Tory government, Sir Jacob Rees-Mogg although he was just Jacob Rees-Mogg at the time, was given the title Leader of the House of Commons. Yes, so there you have it, the Leader of the House of Commons. It's a title with its roots back when the House of Lords had more power. If you want to learn why the House of Lords has their power removed nowadays, and you hardly ever see a Prime Minister in the House of Lords, then watch my earlier video released that explains the 1911 meeting on the 8th of August that sealed the fate of the aristocratic privileges of the Lords. That's the first time I've plugged another video consciously like that in a video. Anyway, I've rambled for quite enough time. Now you know why there is a Leader of the House of Commons. Take care, and I shall see you later.